Okay, so this is all taken apart and clean, and here we've got parts that we're going to reuse, and here is the rebuild kit. So it has this cap with the boot, comes with the ring for right there, and also a new C-clip. It's a kit from GKN. It also comes with the grease, and this is a sealing compound to seal this on. Okay, so this part, in case you get it mixed up, if you see on one end, there's like a thicker ring right there, and then here there's no ring. So this part goes toward the diff. So it goes in this way, and the diff sits right here. And then with this part, see how it's just kind of flat right there? But on this side, there's like kind of that raised ring. And that ring sits against the inside of this arm right here. So here, this ring goes toward the diff, and this ring goes away from the diff. And this, I'm not sure, but it looks symmetrical. It looks the same inside and out. So then, first you want to put these two together. It won't go in this way, so you're just going to kind of go in at an angle. And then rotate it back. And then this goes in this way. And then remember, this side goes toward the diff, and the ring goes away from the diff. So go ahead and put these three together. You've got the ring there, and you've got the ring inside. And then from here, keep the middle two together and rotate it and put the ball from the outside. Just kind of work your way around. There's no grease inside, so it's getting a little stiff. Okay, so it's all back in. That ring goes toward the outside, and this ring goes toward the diff. So first step, put on the ring. Next step, fill in with grease. Okay, so didn't realize this until I got to the other axle. Basically, there is a wrong way to put these bearings back into this joint. As you can see, it doesn't pivot. It's supposed to kind of swivel and whatnot, but it doesn't. It's because the outer and the inner is supposed to go this way, but it's one ball bearing rotated. The way the grooves work, there's like a V. The grooves on the outside and the inside, there's a V shape. And basically what I did was I put it so the grooves were parallel, and that's not the way it should be. It should be more like this. So I'll show you once I take this apart. Okay, if you can see, there's the thick, and there's the thin, and it alternates. Same with the outside ring. There's the thin, and there's the thick. And what I did before was I lined up this thick with the thick and the thin with the thin. That's not correct. You've got to rotate this so that this thin lines up with this thick lines up with this thin. Alright, so you can see here, see how there's a thick end here and a thin end, and it alternates thick, thin, thick, thin. On the outside, it's the opposite. Thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick. So what I'm talking about is this part right here. So you've got two of the ball bearings close to each other here on the outer ring, but on the inner ring, you can see the channel is farther from each other for these two. The inner ring has to be alternate to the outer ring. So if it's thick here, it's got to be thin here. Same here. If it's thin here, it's got to be thick here. When I first put it together, I put the thin with the thin and the thick with the thick. If you do that, the way the channels work is it won't allow the balls inside to rotate the way they need to. Because it's in a circle, they all kind of depend on each other. If it's alternating thick and thin from the inner and the outer ring, then you can get this movement as intended. So that's why I had to kind of take this apart. And now we're putting it back together. Hopefully I have enough sealer to put this back together, or else it might start leaking. But put the C-ring back.